welcome to Arthur L. Williams Stadium in Lynchburg, home to the Liberty Flames, and fans have been eagerly anticipating this clash and filling up this stadium quickly. This matchup today, part of the lifeblood of the sport, a rivalry game where the results will be remembered for a lifetime. As we'll see a team looking for its first win, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, taking on a team looking to get into the win column, the Liberty Flames. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Chanticleers will put total leather to crank us up. The returner will field it and try to do some business. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19.
First and 10.
Offense set on first down. To the ground with the back. Finds a little bit of space, gets 3 to the 22.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7.
Let's keep those sticks moving. Razor. Here we go.
To throw, it's Bradford. Swings it out to the flat. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. We had a barn burner the last time these two teams played, and no reason to expect anything else between these two bitter rivals.
Attention to detail, and I think the sense of urgency, David, in a game like this just goes way up.
And I think managing the emotions in these type of games, you know last year was a classic. Now you're trying to form this year's identity of this team and go out and get a win in a big-time rivalry game.
They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. And the Flames line up to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Puts a boot to it. Didn't see a lot of him in that loss last week, only called on twice. He gets a block. Wide open, and it's a foot race. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Coastal. The return man takes it to the end zone himself, and now he'll give his team the lead.
And your defense made a big stop. You think you're getting the offense, the football back, but how about special teams coming through in a big way to take the lead for you, get some excitement, get some juice back on your side.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So his big play capability was on full display in that one as he took that punt back for the touchdown. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Just feeds the running back. He maybe gets a yard. They'll mark him at the 29. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is...
And here's a fumble way behind the line. The defense snatches it, and they're going the other way. Touchdown, Chanticleers. And the defense doing work.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out. They get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up, take it all the way back to the house for 6.
The AT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 14-0. The scoop and score. What a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. The kickoff team just about set to go, and that defense is eager to get back out there after the scoop and score. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
They're going to test the right side with this one. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Yeah, and this offense, man, you got to do a better job blocking. And I tell you what, that's kind of been a theme throughout the season. They haven't been high-powered. They haven't really figured out who they are yet. And they still got time. The season's not over yet, but this offense still in identity mode.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. Looking downfield, it's Bradford. He makes a catch. Hard-hitting tackle.
Listen, QBs and wide receivers got to be on the same page, and you got to know when to throw that curl route. It's got to be on time, right when the wide receiver breaks and the DB can't catch up. Nice job, QB and wide receiver, being on the same page, getting some positive yards.
Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
That is how it's done on 3rd down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the first down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time, the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
Comes out throwing on first down. Lets it fly. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
Yeah, I just feel watching this offense, they need a big play. They need their confidence to get going, get the mojo going, considering they really struggled their last time out. They just don't seem to have figured it out quite yet here in the first quarter.
Let's see if they go back to the air on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
And it's not panic time yet for this offense, but last week was a really bad performance. This week, starting off a little bit slow. They got to find some form of rhythm. They got to find some way, get a few first downs, get some playmakers involved, because right now they just seem out of sync.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. It's caught. Oh, look out. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Liberty. And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
They do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half when you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Looking for a productive play on first down. Leaves it with the back. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
They can really be aggressive after that last play at 2nd and 3. Here's the handoff. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 out to the 35.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But they got to do a great job gang tackling, because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
Looking to throw, it's Barber. He's right on target. At the 40, there he goes. He's loose on the right. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina.
Number 8.
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands, right to him, and say, all right, dude, you got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they light up the scoreboard, covering 65 yards on that touchdown pass. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on that.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They clearly found that dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They'd just been running into a wall. They just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, we know this offense obviously really struggled there last time out, and they knew coming into this one they would have to be better at running the football, and that just has not happened in this game. They're simply not physical enough offensively at this point.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Dropping back, it's Bradford. Safe completion on the screen. Still on his feet at the 45. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44. No matter how many times they tell you to look for it, it is tough to defend a perfectly executed screen.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go get the quarterback, and everything looks like pass, but when you see it, when you see that screen, you got to retrace your steps, get back in the play. Nice job by the offense, but the defense just has to recognize that a little bit sooner.
It continues to be a long day as they are just swarming every time he gets the ball.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
On 2nd down, he'll fire. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
The Flames will try to convert on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Makes the catch, he's got enough. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the 1st down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
They're going to run it. Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
Trying to impose their will with the run. Not much room. A pickup of 2 down to the 28. A little less room to work with now as the ball's at the 28 and it's 3rd and long. To the air, it's Bradford. Unloads it left. He's got it. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. They make the stop, and that's how the 1st quarter will end.
That's the end of the 1st quarter. With the score, Coastal Carolina 21, Liberty 7.
Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Wide out in motion. Looking for the end zone on 2nd and goal. And he gets it back to the 4-yard line and no farther.
I think it would be great if this offense leaned on the run game more in the red zone. Leaned on their back, man. Give it to him. Let him do his thing. He hadn't even gotten the end zone yet this season, so love to see him get that opportunity to maybe punch one in here.
3rd and goal for the offense. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it go to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Flames. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. This was step 1 to getting them back in the ballgame.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Georgia is on top, but this is a close game. And, you know, back in the day, you'd feed Herschel Walker and go home. That guy needs to emerge for them today. They're up by 10 over Ole Miss. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Coastal Carolina takes over, and here comes the offense. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
Pressure coming. They get to him as he throws. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a 1st down.
And those long shots, man, I tell you what, it takes a little bit longer to develop. So as a quarterback, you know you got to buy a little bit of time. Mad respect, man. Hanging in there, knowing he's going to get hit, but still making the big play down the field.
And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. After a terrific run and a nice pickup.
And RD, it's completely changed the game. Like now it's 11-on-11 football. The quarterback used to hand it off and stand there and watch the play. Now he's very much involved in the play. He's running the football so much, and even when he's not, he's making somebody go with him and cover him. So the quarterback scrambling, the quarterback running has completely changed the way people play defense.
Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
38-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
Stuck with a running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. Looking downfield, it's Barber. Quickly to the tight end. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big to pass. They're trying to get to it. Across the 25, he's got room. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
And this is why defensive coordinators lose sleep at night, because guys like this have the football in their hand almost every single play. Third down, nothing open. He makes it happen himself. Now set up with a great scoring opportunity with 1st and goal.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And you got to get locked in the red zone. A lot of defensive coordinators, they'll tell you, we'll give up yards, but we got to understand what we're trying to get accomplished. Great job down here near the goal line. This defense bowing their neck up and getting a big stop.
They'll run it to the left, looking for the touchdown here. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
I think coming into this season, they thought in order to have success, we have got to be able to run the ball and get this guy going. He hasn't scored yet this year, but a golden opportunity right now to finally break the seal.
Third and goal, where the fire purifies and separates contenders and pretenders. On the move. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal! A methodical drive, soul-crushing, spirit-breaking, and it ends in a touchdown.
And listen, I know everybody wants the big plays, the big, long touchdowns and all that stuff, but putting a drive together like that is very difficult to do time and time again, and it's demoralizing for the defense. Great drive by the offense.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and they close the deal, pushing their way inches into the end zone. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Third down conversions, always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Looking to pass. It's Bradford. Setting up the screen. On the nasty move, and now he's got room. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a 1st down and much more. Really good execution by this offense. And the Flames come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun to give to the back. Just ran him over. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play.
And here we go. If you're an offense, you got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field later on.
Yeah, exactly. And coming into this game, this offense knew they were going to have to some way, somehow, at least establish a semblance of a running game for exactly what you just said. You got to be able to use play-action pass later in this game to get some explosive plays down the field, and it's a play like that we just saw, which can help them get that going.
2nd down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. And he fires over the middle. It's incomplete.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but They need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
A 3rd and long coming up here. Back to pass, it's Bradford. Throws to the wideout. Fires into traffic, picked off. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And the senior just took that one out of the air and sends it the other way.
Most defenses are lucky if you have one good covering corner. Fewer are lucky if you have two. They've got 3 DBs, 3 corners that can play at the same time in their nickel package that they feel can go mano-a-mano with anyone in the country. And you saw it on that last play coming away with the pick.
Coastal Carolina has it. The Chanticleer offense headed back to the field. They'll run the screen. Ripping through the defense. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Fires to the wideout. Can't hold on. He had him right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
And you see those balls in practice sometimes. They're just off the mark. And you don't know how to control it. You don't know what goes wrong. But sometimes QBs miss, and it's an incompletion.
And here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
That's a great play call by the offensive coordinator because that play is essentially the extension of a sweep play. You're getting your running back an extra touch to the perimeter of the field, so now he can go to work in open space.
Getting some heat. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a 1st at the 29.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
Quickly complete. Open runway. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown, Chanticleer. And they take it in for 6 more points. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
I think the days of running backs just running downhill are out the window. You better be able to do this. You see the playmaker slip it down the backfield, throw him the football, he'll handle the rest, get in the end zone for the touchdown.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. South Alabama is in front. They've answered the bell today, but they still have to finish the job, and that is no sure thing right now. They're up by 7 over Texas State. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum. And the ball is intercepted. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Great spot to start this drive for the offense. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
We're only in the first half already. This guy's got 2 TD passes, so you can see the defensive coaching staff on the sideline telling this D-line, guys, we got to get after this guy. We have to affect his rhythm and not let him be so comfortable back there. Right there, they were able to get after him. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the 1st down marker. They'll play it safe and send out the field goal unit. He's going to try to punch one through from 45 yards away. And he missed it. No good. After the miss time for one final play of the half. Back to throw, it's Bradford. He rifles one deep down the right side. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. And he'll be brought down, and that's how we'll end the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Flames will kick it away to start the second half. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. Coastal Carolina takes over, and here comes the offense. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the second half. Works his way ahead for 3. They'll spot it at the 18.
It's just simple. Simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. And that pass picked off. Takes it the other way. Touchdown, Liberty. And this defense coming out with points of their own. What an interception return. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he did the pick 6.
And these guys can play offense, too. Look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Coastal Carolina has it. The Chanticleer offense headed back to the field. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do have it. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Takes this handoff and headed to the right. Defense there to stop him after a 2-yard gain to the 31. How bold will they be on 3rd down after that last run? Scanning the field, it's Barber. Fires a bullet, now it's picked off. He was thinking big return, didn't get that, but boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31.
That's a bit of a gut punch if you're the offense, because you went in at halftime, you made your adjustments, you're feeling good about your game plan coming here in the second half, and right away you throw an interception to the defense.
Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
It's a draw. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And they sniff that draw out. With a draw, you really have to sell that pass like you're going to throw the ball down the field. But the defensive line, the defense was not biting it. You could tell they were ready for it. Came, got on the running back, got him on the ground quick, fast, and in a hurry.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47. They are out to send a message in this rivalry game, Jesse, and the quarterback has to keep his composure after taking a shot like that.
Man, and I've been on the receiving end of some of those hits in rivalry games. It is not fun. They hurt a whole lot more, David. It just feels different in games like this.
It just means more because these guys don't like each other, and you love making those big hits in big moments that they replay throughout the whole next year.
A famous writer once said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down, trailing by double figures. And he's got it inside the 20. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a 1st down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the 1st down there.
Yeah, and you got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the 1st down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive end.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
They keep feeding him in this running game, and the defense is having none of it. It's been that way all day.
That's a great individual play, and I love cornerbacks that don't just take pride in covering guys. I like guys that like to put their face in the fan and affect the running game. This dude is physical, and he impacts the defense because of it.
And those guys are really hard to find. A lot of corners, they're smaller. They don't want any part of the physical run game. Nice job sticking his face in there, setting the edge, making the tackle.
Got to give the defense credit on that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision time. 4th and short, and you're in field goal range. What do you do here?
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. The throw to the outside is complete. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
Man, aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
Looking for a crease. It's Washington. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Caught over the middle. It's Washington. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that 1st down.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Grab near the sticks. It's Williams. That kind of play will get a drive started or help your field position. They've got it at the 27. The shot that clears have it with a 1st and 10. They'll give it to the back. It's runs like that that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on 1st down, make that 2nd down really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
After the 9-yard pickup on 1st down, here's 2nd and 1. Now on the move. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. Looking to throw, it's Barber. Zings it complete to the right. And he's going to be just short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up a decision for this coach.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too. Understanding the situation. It's 3rd down. We're fine giving up completions right there. We're not giving up the 1st down. We're keeping the football and the ball carrier in front of us, and we're tackling the catch. Awesome job, and now you've set up 4th down.
Fair catch called for and made around the 20-yard line. the play fake on first down. Going for the big play. Another interception. That's his fourth of the day. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time, the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it, there was nobody there to make a tackle, and this offense generates a massive play.
They get him on the ground with this running game imposing its will. 6-yard gain down to the 17. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on second and 4. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Washington. Staying physical in the red zone as he's pulled down after picking up 3 balls at the 14. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. He'll sneak it and try to surge forward. And I don't think he got it. The defense stands tall on 3rd and inches.
Man, I like the call. 3rd and inches, I feel like I can get a few inches. I just need to fall forward, but this defense more than ready for the quarterback sneak.
I think as a play caller, that just makes you second-guess everything. You'd love to think you can just dial up QB sneak to pick up that first down. Now, you're probably going to have to hand it off to the big fella behind you to keep this drive going.
They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9.
And that's a play the defense has got to be able to make, guys, right there on 4th down. You're in the 3rd quarter, second half. You're playing at home, and it's a close game. You've got a huge opportunity to seize momentum. And you just get the feeling that that momentum is going to be a big factor here in the second half. Someone had to step up and make a play. And
he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. The offense flexes its muscle a bit and widens the gap.
Take a little exhale. You know, you did your job. You got points. Now you put your defense in a position where, hey, go out and get another stop. We're in great shape, so the offense definitely taking care of their business.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. The give to the back. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Back to throw, it's Bradford. He's going for the big play. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
Man, this quarterback is living dangerously right now. Obviously, he threw a pick on the last drive. He's trying to complete that throw, but the defender gets a hand on it, tips it up in the air. That's oh-no. That is an oh-no situation. They're lucky that one hit the ground.
Flips it out in the flat. Defense coming through and knocking him down for a loss, and that'll be the end of the 3rd period.
Carolina, 42. Liberty, 21.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. Didn't find much room on the return, but now they are in business and poised to strike from the 25. Coastal Carolina takes over, and here comes the offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every skill position on the field. Any of these guys is dangerous if they touch the football. Let's see what they do on this drive, David.
And so, Palmer, I got to take away something. I can't let them have everything and have success. I got to be aggressive against the run or play for the pass. I can't give them everything.
On the run, it's Washington. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing? Ball's at the 24, a lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. They'll run play action. Got the quick pass.
You know, and that's a route this offense practices all week long. You really have to have great timing when you're throwing these out routes. There's nothing a defender can do on that one. Perfectly thrown, well caught. Nice job getting his feet in bounds.
Oh, he missed it. No good. Missed the field goal, but still up by 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, he'll take the deep shot. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on first down, but second down's coming up. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Looking for a man. It's Bradford. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Screen pass just not working there. You figure at this point of the game, trailing, you're going to have to be more aggressive and take some shots. You usually run screen passes when you think there's going to be a blitz, but because the defense has the lead, they're just sitting back and playing big zones.
On third down, he drops to throw. That's reeled in. It's Smith. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
And the Flames getting set on 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. Got his man down the middle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. And you're going to win this game.
Looking to throw it again. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are. You're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
This defense has the ability to get pressure on the QB from the edge. And I don't necessarily mean from defensive ends, but from the outside linebackers. These guys get in their sprinter stances, and they come off the ball. That outside linebacker showed you his speed right there.
Looking down the middle. And he throws yet another interception. Does he know which colored jerseys they're wearing? And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And how about the timing of the linebacker on the blitz to get in the backfield and get the tackle for loss?
Is there anything better for a linebacker than to run on a blitz and nobody's home except the back?
Such a great feeling when the Moses parts the Red Sea and the hole opens up and you go fill it.
Using that running game to bludgeon forward. He's got 4 down to the 35. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Looking for a man. It's Barber. Looking deep down the right side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
No good. After the missed field goal, hey, could be worse. They're still up by 21.
Well, the kicker's 0 for 3 right now in this football game, and we're going to find out just how mentally tough he is. We've got some football still to be played. They're going to need him, but he needs to get right in his mind. He's got to find somehow, some way to get his confidence back.
Looking to go up top on 1st down. He turns that loose down the right side. Fires the pass, intercepted. Trying to take it back. The 20. And he'll be marked down, but what a play to come up with that interception.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. 4th quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
And the sudden change magnified for this defense as it's 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Tries again to get it in. Touchdown, Coastal! And the punishment has been extended. Now they've got a little breathing room after that score, and a Week 6 victory is in the offing, it appears. Offense gets the job done again. You want to build that cushion as we get deeper into the 2nd half.
Man, it makes it easy, doesn't it? You start getting up by a couple possessions, making the offense very predictable on the other side. Great job by the offense extending their lead.
The kick is good, but the penalty flag indicates we've got a roughing the kicker call coming. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They're lining up to kick it off, and he ought to be able to knock this one anywhere he wants after that extra 15 yards with the roughing the kicker. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee, and they'll bring it to the 25. On 1st down, here comes this offense. They're going to open this drive with a pass. It's caught downfield. Gets it to the 46-yard line. 1st down for this offense.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
To the air on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. Didn't get a ton on the return, but the most important thing, he got the ball, and they've got it at the 48. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. 1st down here for the offense. They'll run it. They want to take their time here. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The offense lining up for a 1st down play. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.